All right, I haven't thought much about your things, but
Well, that's what the moment is for.
that's what the moment is for, baby. It's all about that moment. We good?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Dan Slicky Podcast, episode 26. Debate by William. Debate guy, how we feeling?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, well, you gotta help me with this one. So, we live in 2020. It is easier than ever to stay in touch with folks. You can pick up the phone, call them, you can text them, you can do the social media thing if you're into that with all the kids these days. My question is around, why is it so hard to stay in touch with people that are relatively important in our lives? And that's a bit of a general statement, but it seems like it's harder to stay in touch than it is to lose touch with folks. Like, what's the evolutionary rationale for that, and how do we try and correct for it with improved software?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people notice that pretty easily. Just like when people aren't like I'm terrible face to face, like maintaining contact with people if I don't see them on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might. I mean, we definitely need some sort of update for it. I don't know what that could be though. I mean, honestly, I think I'm more in favor of like eventually getting to the point where we have resources and it's like resources and social norms around structuring our lives in a way that gels with our natural physical attributes and habits. So I think it'd be nice if we like kind of brought back that prioritize face to face stuff for a lot of things.
Yeah,
but
not just because it's definitely that's more like our proclivity I think as humans to just whatever's in front of our face is like the most important thing. But at the same time, it's like we can maintain relationships so much easier now. So I think it's important to family across the country or folks and friends and what have you across the world now. But it seems to be harder. So yeah, I don't have an exact magic wand for that. Maybe that's
it's funny though because it's gotten easier in terms of like the capabilities, but with those capabilities come with all these other distractions that might be outweighing the ease. So it actually makes it harder because like from the motivation side, we have other things distracting us now. So maybe we value our relationships less, and so it's harder to get the motivation to maintain them. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. It's interesting when it's like, oh, we'll stay in touch. Like, follow me on Instagram. It's like it's a really weird like dynamic. And like that's what it means. Like, oh, I haven't talked directly to this person, but like I saw their post on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. So like I'm staying in touch and I know what they're up to. It's a really weird dynamic that you're not actually connecting with them, but
No, it's definitely a wacky situation. I think a lot of people are going through it. Okay, so logical fallacy. So we got two examples here for you, Dan. First one. So in marriage, domestic violence happens. Someone concludes because of that marriage is bad. And second example, houses burn down, forest fires happen. Therefore, someone concludes fire on the whole negative, bad thing. Let's get rid of fire and ban it.
Let's ban fire.
What's the logical fallacy there, Dan?
Well, the leading indicators of something, the causes, can be used or misused. So fire can be used for great things as well as for bad things. Same thing with a relationship. A relationship can be a beautiful thing or it can also be a not so beautiful thing. So I don't exactly know what the term would be. Appeal to something or other?
This one has a more basic name. It's just proving too much. So you
proving too much, okay.
Yeah, so you use a small example to prove that the whole thing is bad. So like for fire, it's like fire is bad because this one thing happens. Marriage is bad because domestic violence happens, et cetera, et cetera. And I think this does happen in a lot of interesting cases. I mean, especially if you look at you could go to the kind of more controversial side of like drug use, right? It's like just because, a lot of people I know have used drugs and, they're not like criminals or in jail. So, but, it's often an argument that's made.
Yeah, arguing, what was the name again? Arguing too much?
Just proving too much. So, like you just have like a few bad cases that you extrapolate to make the whole thing bad.
Yeah. It kind of goes along with confirmation bias a bit, it seems like, right? So you can point to one or two examples to paint your picture. Definitely an issue that we see today. I think about it from like a work. I'm thinking about it. The first thing that popped in my mind was work examples, like, oh, we tried this, it didn't work out.
I think that happens
must not be
often.
effective.
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely more to unpack with that part, definitely. But
I like that one.
We gotta get your tip of the day, Dan.
I like that one. The tip of the day. So okay, so back to the relationships thing. I guess that's the theme for me. So the best example I can think of for this tip is about a year and a half ago, I quit my job. Didn't really like it. It wasn't a great fit. And a lot of the folks in the office that I was friendly with, not necessarily like homies with, we went out after and I was like, hey, this is probably the last time I'll ever see you again. I'll ever see you. So really, really great. And I think my tip of the day is to do that more proactively with some of your relationships. Stay in touch with important people, but the folks you're not going to stay in touch with, tell them it's the last time you're going to see them. It really changes the dynamic of the moment.
Yeah, I think that's great. And then also, like, if it's not true, then it's so amazing if you see them. It's like, I thought I'd never see you again in my life.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I know if I see these people like,
it's like only you're basically hedging that relationship. You're just like, I'm gonna sell it now and like on this long option. Where like maybe I'll see them again. But yeah, I think that's fun. No, that's great.
I think it goes to like, and it's an interesting like psychological use. I think in even like everyday moments to be like, oh, like this might be the last time see you again from my boy Sam Harris. This might be the last time this happens. So like, it makes the moment that more purposeful and meaningful, even if it's something that you're 99% likely to do again.
Yeah, this one there's an interesting blog where this guy he basically did a visual representation of how much time he had left to spend with his parents, and he was like a middle-aged guy, and he was just like, wow, like from 0 to 18, you spend so much time. Like how much of the net time have you spent by the time you leave the house? And it's like 80%. Like 80% of your total life of like face time with your parents is done by the time you're 18. It's crazy. When you think about it, it's like, okay, a couple holidays, etc. So it really helped him value that other time with it, and also prioritize creating more time, obviously too. So I think we definitely lose. We kind of, especially young people, I think have this terrible bias towards just like thinking things last forever.
Yeah, I think that you're right on with that, and that's an interesting example with the parents. And if you look at the math, and friends too. It's like, dude, you see folks like twice a year for the next 20 years, like that's only 40 times. It's like, damn, each one of those is really meaningful, folks. So
for sure.
Hot tip of the day: maintain those relationships.
So Magic Wand, this is a fun one. A lot of moving parts, or maybe not. So here, you have Magic Wand that only does two things, and you can only pick one. It's completely useless. Only one use Magic Wand. You can either make people stay where they're living and never move again. So they're gonna be members of their community for life, and so will all their descendants. Or you get to make everybody move to a new place. Now they're not gonna move like together as a group, so like a city would not move all together, but individually they'd have to move.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you posted this pre-show, my initial inclination was get people moving, get folks, trying new things. I've even argued about how do we incentivize people to move before in this different segment. But now I'm thinking about it, I think if the magic wand is to get folks to stay, I think like there's something to be said about like having certainty where you're like, hey, I know that this is going to be my community for forever essentially. Like we can build a kind of really cool framework about that. I think when there's so many moving parts, it's tough to have that continuity to like really kind of build that ideal vision for what a community can be. But if you know that no one's going anywhere, you can really start to do some cool shit. I think.
Right. Oh, I think it'd be interesting. So I mean, obviously this is like a ridiculous magic wand that would never happen, but it brings up some interesting points where like for people who move around a lot, they're definitely lacking in that area naturally, right? Like it's hard for them to feel connected to where they are and then to think long term about where they are in like a sustainable, positive way for that community. And then in the opposite way, it's like people who never leave, like they have a hard time understanding what else is out there and how to have a good perspective of what their actual lot in life is like.
I think it would be an interesting experiment if it was like all of the folks in X city just completely replaced another city, right? Like that's what I said.
All cities of the same size are switched.
Right? Just like put all of Tulsa, Oklahoma, switch that up with Albuquerque, New Mexico, and like see what happens in San Francisco to like Seattle. Just, that would probably be about the same. Just to be kind of a wash, but I don't know, just to see what folks do.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting. And but that's I think there's a lot more to unpack with that as well.
I'll unpack that.
Yeah, I gave us a few seconds of not leeway. What's the term I'm looking for here? I articulated my thought a little too early there, William. That was that's
what are you talking about?
That's podcast mistake 101 for all those folks mimicking at home. Everyone's gonna start a podcast after they see Dan and Slick have one. So, wow, man, this is exactly not what you do. Look at these fucking guys. Yeah, man, that's all I got. I don't think we have any. What other lingering doubts do we have after show? I don't think I got nothing. I got no material today.
Well, I'd like to hear about your shirt and then also about why you think you're. You said you were like, oh, I've talked about relationships a lot recently. Do you have any idea why?
Probably because I just ended one this weekend.
Hey, I knew there was something lurking.
Yeah, I guess that's funny. The subconscious was it's interesting, dude. The subconscious is wild. How like that didn't even cross my mind at all. But like, it just kind of pops up. You ever notice like there's a song you'll be listening to for like. I noticed that there's like a song that I'm listening to for like maybe a couple months beforehand, and I like don't exactly know why, and then like I'll like my like actual conscious mind will come into play and be like, oh, you were feeling this way, but kind of like pushing it down or like suppressing it a little bit. Like this song was a way for you to like kind of channel that earlier than your conscious mind knew about.
Kind of like that really corny phrase where it's like the heart knows what it wants. It's like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But it's like, it's kind of like tapping into that kind of modality of existing.
There's something there. I don't think it's the heart. I don't think the heart has any capacity for like.
Do you know
thinking?
I'm pretty sure the ancient world thought that the brain, like your thinking brain, was in like your stomach.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know what the hell the brain was. They didn't do many many dissections on humans. So.
Yeah.
They thought.
It's probably a good thing.